Every testing platform says the same thing. AI-powered QA that runs itself. You buy it, plug it in, spend 6 weeks wiring pipelines, and by Friday, you're still staring at red builds and flaky tests. You don't need another tool. You need your QA to finally move as fast as your developers. Let's talk about how high-performing teams are doing exactly that. Every tech leader eventually faces the same problem. Dev velocity scales exponentially. QA velocity scales linearly. Your engineers push daily. QA still thinks in weekly cycles. And every time the gap widens, confidence erodes. Tests fail that shouldn't. Pipelines pause and sprints stall. I've seen organizations with brilliant engineers lose an entire sprint per quarter to reruns, flaky tests, and data mismatches. Not bugs, just process drag. And the irony, the more that you automate, the more brittle things become. Automation without intelligence actually slows you down. But before we talk about automation or AI, let's look at what the best teams track. This framework is called the QA velocity triangle, and it's how winning teams diagnose bottlenecks before ever touching a line of code. First is stability, the foundation of velocity. Unstable tests are like false alarms. Once people stop trusting them, the whole system loses credibility. On average, 10 to 15% of your test suite is responsible for 90% of pipeline reruns. You can measure this using what you see on the screen right now. That's your flakiness concentration. If more than 15% of tests are unstable, you're bleeding at least one sprint per quarter. Now, it's not just test quality that causes this. It's data dependencies, async timing, and test overlap. The best organizations isolate flaky tests into a quarantine suite, track their rerun frequency separately, and set an SLA. If a test fails more than 3 consecutive runs, it gets rebuilt or replaced. That level of discipline is how stability becomes measurable. The second corner is parity, the alignment between staging, QA, and production environments. Over half of false failures aren't bad code or bad tests. They're mismatched data or misaligned configuration. I've seen staging databases with missing foreign keys, different seed data, or stale feature flags that make entire suites fail for no reason. You can calculate a drift index by comparing environment snapshots, schema checksum parity, data row parity by critical tables, configuration flag parity. Every 1% drift increases false fail rates by roughly 4%. When Airworks closed their drift from 12% to 1%, their nightly reruns dropped by 40%. The lesson? Reliability isn't just about code, it's about environment fidelity. The third corner is prioritization, how intelligently your suite runs. Most organizations still run tests alphabetically or by folder. That's chaos disguised as order. High-performing teams tag every test case by impact level. Critical, high traffic user paths and revenue flows. Important, regression critical components. Exploratory, non-blocking or experimental flows. They then reorder pipelines to run critical tests first and push the rest asynchronously. That single change can reduce build time by 25 to 40%. Yakit did this and cut total build time from 42 minutes to 28 without deleting a single test. The deeper point, velocity isn't about writing more tests. It's about running the right tests at the right time. Here's how you can score yourself right now. This formula is on the screen. Velocity score equals 1 minus flakiness percent times data parity percent times priority coverage percent. Most teams land between 0.45 and 0.6. Anything under 0.6 means you're leaking a sprint every quarter. The teams that reach 0.9 are the ones who've automated this triangle completely. If your velocity score is low, it's not a talent problem, it's a time problem. Your engineers already know where the bottlenecks are. They just can't stay ahead of them. Most QA systems fail not because of bad automation, but because automation decays faster than it's maintained. So the real question isn't, can we fix it? It's, can we fix it faster than it breaks? That's the race every modern engineering organization is running and losing. That's exactly why we built QASolve. It automates the 3 corners of the triangle: stability, parity, and prioritization, so you never fall behind again. QASolve starts by creating a digital twin of your app. Our AI maps every user flow automatically. No specs, no manual scripting. Then it uses autonomous test tooling to detect and repair flaky tests as your code changes. Finally, our human success team validates results before each deployment, so you trust your pipeline again. And the result? Your QA process evolves as fast as your product does. Teams using QASolve reach 80% automated coverage in under 14 days. Airworks went from 60 to 300 tests in 2 weeks. Yakut scaled to 1,000 plus automated tests without hiring a single new QA engineer. Average build stability improved by 5 times across the board. Let's be real about what this takes. You might say we already purchased a QA solution. Great. But if that system truly worked, you wouldn't still be watching red pipelines. And yes, switching to QASolve takes a bit of lift, migrating your core tests and connecting your CI/CD once. But that one migration replaces months of upkeep and constant firefighting. After setup, QA simply runs. No YAML, no brittle scripts, no midnight reruns. You get back the velocity you expected from those tools, only now it's consistent. Now you might say, we already hired a QA team. Perfect, keep them. QASolve doesn't replace your engineers, it frees them. Most QA teams spend 60 to 70% of their time maintaining tests that automation should handle. Once that burden is gone, your people focus on high-value work. Strategy, exploratory testing, complex edge cases. If you want to see where your team stands, book a QA velocity assessment. In 30 minutes, we'll calculate your real velocity score, identify your top 3 bottlenecks, show you what 80% automation in 14 days would look like. No contracts, no code access, just clarity. Because you don't have a QA problem, you have a time problem. Let's get it back.